Hello, beautiful, and welcome to Evolve.
Oh, I love it. Hello, thank you for having me.
I just gave a bit of an introduction about you and your journey at IA and me coaching you. And before I kind of hand the reins over to you, I'm starting to interview everyone with the beginning of a couple of questions. How well do you know me? And you know that this is one of my favorite games.
Okay.
Even when we were in Early Beach, remember I was like, Mahlee,
Yep.
which out of the cabinet would I pick? How well do you know me?
Oh.
So for every question that you get right, I'm going to be donating $10 to the Epilepsy Foundation.
No pressure now.
It's on, girl.
Okay.
But you do have at least 10 seconds to answer them. But, you have been coaching with me for about a year and a half now. So I think you know me pretty well.
Okay.
So first off, the rank, what year was I born?
1997.
Nailed it. What is one of my biggest guilty pleasures?
Something to do with food, and it has to be food. Oh no, I've gone past over 10 seconds.
3.
Chocolate.
Locking it in?
Yeah.
All right. What's my favorite compound movement in the gym?
Hip thrust.
What town did I grow up? And brownie points if you know which school I graduated from. Double points.
Well, if you went to school with Nathan, you went to Mercy in Camperdown, and you were born in Mortlake. Was it born in Mortlake?
I grew up in Mortlake. Yep. What's the name of my new car?
Burma. But the Burmy, the Beamer. Beamer.
That's not the name.
Oh, I thought it was Beamer.
All right, so yes, correct. I was born in 1997. One of my guilty pleasures is buying an outfit for basically every new event. My favorite compound movement, yes, is hip thrust. I grew up in Mortlake and I graduated at Mercy in Camperdown. And my car's name is Alan.
Oh, you told me that. Okay, yep, Alan.
Welcome to Evolve, babe. Welcome.
Okay, thank you. Wow, I absolutely butchered that one, but we'll keep going.
We are here for it, babe. We're all about growth here. So with that being said, I want you to share with our listeners a little bit about your journey at IA and coaching with me. But let's start off with why you decided to embark on this indie active journey.
Ooh, the why.
The why.
Why would have had to have been just it came about in my life unexpectedly. I was not looking or searching for coaching, fitness training, anything. I had purely just gone home from work sick one day, and I was just doing the good old Insta stories, scrolling. And I followed you just because of girls from down here that have obviously shared you. And then I just followed Indie Active, but I'd never actually looked into it purely because I wasn't looking for something to do along the lines of coaching. And then I answered the questions that you had. You had like a yes, no, and like answer questions, and I was at home, so I was just answering them. And then you messaged me, and I was like, oh, this is actually like a real thing. And then you reached out and said, oh, I have some spaces open, like I'd love to get to know you. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then I hadn't answered the questions, and I informed my partner about it when he got home, and he's like, do you know who that is? And I was like, no. And he's like, I went to school with her. And I was like, oh, okay. So there's even more things that were just kind of connecting along the way, going, okay, maybe this is something I should pursue. And then, the rest is kind of just, it all just kind of happened. I signed up to do 12 weeks, and here we are a year and a half later. I just can't see my day-to-day life going without being able to contact you and have your guidance and support, and not just in fitness, but I think I say this nearly every time someone asks me, why do you keep getting coaching? And I'm like, purely because it's not just fitness coaching. I get to have the balance of having this nutrition and fitness and wellness. And I think the wellness side has been something that I didn't know that I needed the most, but it definitely was. And intentionally, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to do a 12-week program, and I'm going to lose some weight, and I'm going to look great. I'm going to feel awesome. I don't think I've actually lost any weight since I've started, but my body shape has completely changed. I'm doing things that I never thought I would do with my body, and I have so much more awareness about food and the type of foods that suit me, because I was just so bad at basically starving myself to try and lose weight and then just overeating and bulging and then going in a cycle that was so toxic that it just was never sustainable. And but I kept going into it because that's what got promoted out there. Do a diet, do this, eat this, you'll get a flat tummy. And that's just like, so just learning about it all. So anyway, that's my little journey for my own, how I describe Indie Active and my.
Oh my gosh, babe, it's been such a journey. And I still remember clear as day when I got your application for the coaching, because I'm fairly sure it was one of my other coaches at the time who had put herself out there being like, you know, are there spots available? And then you came through, and I remember getting it and reading your answers and just could feel your energy through this application. And I was like, I want to work with this girl. Like, I don't have space, but I'm going to make space. And then I remember it was that night we jumped on a call. Hey,
it was because I remember there was the opportunity to be with Indie Active, but getting coached. I can't even remember the lady's name now. But then you'd reached out and said, "Oh, do you want to come and do it with me?" I'm like, and you're like, "Look, I'll probably push you pretty hard and do these things and do this, but I think this could be something fun." And I was just like, I'm so new to all this learning about coaching. I'm for it. So yeah,
it was the best, absolute best. And babe, honestly, you've achieved so much within a year and a half. And I love that you mentioned about the scale weight. Like you haven't seen quote unquote much movement on the scales, but look at how much you've achieved. Like your physique is insane. Like you're looking amazing, you're feeling amazing. You've achieved like what, 3 half marathons, like triathlons.
Yeah.
I want to know more about them. Oh, I'm sure the listeners want to know more about them, because I know that actually I'll let you share the story about how the third one came on. Was it the third one? Fourth one?
It all came about. I still remember last year you were doing every fortnight, you were doing these Zooms with some coaches that you have in your life. And one of them was Krista Tia.
Yeah, my mentor.
I jumped on that, and I was down at the lake in the town that I live in, sitting in my car before work, and I jumped on this Zoom and we did a meditation and we did a breathing workout. And we all just felt so calm, and then just I had no intentions to think about anything. And then she said, I want us all to set goals for the new year, because this was then leading into December. And I'm like, oh God, I'm not really good with this whole goal setting thing. So I let myself down. I never actually achieved them. Like I set a goal that's just not achievable. Like it was just so out there. And I remember I said I did 2 because I couldn't choose one. I said I wanted to buy a new car and do a half marathon. And then we were like, oh, okay, yep. And then when you did your one-on-one coaching call with me, you were like, Darls, a marathon, that's just running. And I was like, oh, no, I want to do the one where you ride a bike and run and swim. And she goes, and you're like, babe, that's a triathlon. Oh. So I want to do one of those. So that was a step up. And then in January, it kind of just was like, it was just kind of soaked in within what I had intended to do without even me knowing. I signed up for a triathlon, and I was like, whoa. So I did my first triathlon in February this year, and I absolutely loved it. Like I got to completely rearrange Bree's training schedule for me. She'd set this whole thing for me up for the whole year, but I kind of diverted that, and I started.
You put a spanner in the works.
Yeah, I started riding a bike and going to the pool and lifting heavy weights, but in a different way. And I ended up doing the first triathlon, and then I did another triathlon 2 weeks later. And then it's like, you know how your phone listens to you, and it's like if you say a word, it pops up on your Facebook or pops up on your Instagram. All these triathlons started popping up, and I was like, this must be a thing. And so I didn't even realize. And so then I did a third one another 2 weeks later. So within a span of a month and a half, I ended up doing 3 triathlons, and it was incredible. The excitement and the enjoyment I got out of it. It was just so exhilarating. And I loved the feeling that I'd get when I'd finish it, because I wasn't competing against anyone. I was just there on my own with a little timer on my wrist, and we all started at once, and boom, off you went. And it was just me versus me. And I think that's what this whole journey has been about. And with Breeze in coaching towards everything, I'm such a people pleaser and a comparer to other people. And I am not trying, and I'm trying so hard to be just me. Like only compete with yourself. Like, you don't have to compare yourself to someone else. So the whole time 12 months ago, I probably would have been looking at all the other girls in their bathers going, oh my God, they look so fit. And I was there and I was like, here I am in this suit that I look like an absolute, I don't even know, but I'm ready to go, got my goggles on and I look like a fish. And it was just the best time and I had so much fun. And then I went on the retreat with you and that was absolutely incredible, one of the most amazing experiences of my life. And then I came home and I was like, I'm going to do a half marathon. And you're like, Mahlee, you're killing me. I'm trying to get you to do weight training and now you want to run 20 kilometers. And I honestly could not have done all of these athletical activities without all the training that I've got behind me from you, because 12 months of me working in the gym, lifting weights and still going to the gym in between all these random little things that I've done this year, it's really benefited me, because I still look at myself and go, I don't understand how your body has done what it's done, because I don't look like a runner. I never want to look like a runner. I don't look like a triathlete. I never want to look like a triathlete. I just want to be strong. And that's what my whole goal is, from literally nearly, it's probably been building and now I'm actually acknowledging it, that I want to just be strong. I want to have a strong mindset. I want to have a strong body and I want to be independent and capable. And there's all these little things that I'm doing that are building me towards that. And so it's definitely along with your guidance, of course, because I still have my weekly cries and my weekly moments and then get myself up and off I go again. But I feel better for it every time, because I'm learning to release my energy is a positive thing, not holding it and bottling it up.
Yes, babe. So true. Everything you just said then, I was just so magnetized what you're saying. I'm like, yes, this is so true. And so many things to take away from that. But one of them, I'm so glad you mentioned it. You know, you haven't just got physically stronger, like you're mentally stronger. And when I say mentally stronger, also emotionally intelligent, like you've grown and you've developed into this like highest version of yourself. And to witness that over a year and a half has been like one of the most rewarding things as a coach. And like then to have you on my retreat and finally meet you, I was like, this is like the best. I'm loving every minute of this, coaching you, having this experience with you, and then even you coming up to the Gold Coast last weekend and spending time with you and your beautiful sisters. Like, it's also incredibly rewarding. But I think as well, for me, it's definitely seeing your mindset shift. And saying this, it's being like, you know, have you at the very beginning being like, I have to, or, you know, I want to be like this, and having, like you said, those comparing thoughts, to now you're being like, this is who I am, this is what I embody, these are my foundations. And, you know, with our foundations, that is catalyst to our growth. Once we stay consistent with that, we build momentum and then we create those goals and achieve those desires. So talk me through your foundations, because this is something that you are so passionate about. And I know to a lot of listeners, they're probably going to eye roll at one of them. And I think we both know what it is, because you were an eye roller once upon a time. So talk me through your foundations, babe, and what you'd call your non-negotiables.
So my foundation, like my non-negotiables for the day, definitely have changed this year. And one of them is definitely, I have to move my body every day. I've become someone who used to be, I have to feel sweaty and hot, like I've done something for myself, otherwise I haven't worked out. And I used to look at my calories and go, oh my God, I've only burnt this many, I need to burn some more. But now I'm
toxic.
Yeah. And now I'm like, if I just go for a walk, I have moved myself. If I've gone to the gym and done a 45-minute weight session, I have bloody moved myself. If I do Pilates or yoga, I've moved myself. Like, it's just so many different ways of moving my body and actually acknowledging that it can do many more things than just go get hot and sweaty and feel like, oh, done that, tick that off, I've done my workout now. It's like, no, I actually want to feel good about it, not run myself into the ground every time, because then you just keep burning out and you don't actually achieve anything, because you're not learning to listen to your body. So definitely moving my body. Second one for me, sleep, because I'm a big sleepy head. I need at least a minimum of 10 hours sleep a night. If I'm not in bed by 8 o'clock every night, I actually start getting moody and my partner's just like, go to bed. I'm just like, I think that's down to me being so passionate about making sure that I make the time to move my body, as well as everybody out there works. And so working full time in the career that I choose to do, I'm on my feet all day. I don't stop. It's working in childcare is a busy time. So doing that, as well as making time for myself each day, it actually takes a lot out of me. And so I get very emotionally drained. So my body might still have the energy because I've been fueling it properly and doing all those things, but I'm very tired in my mind and in my head, and I actually can't sit and watch telly at night time. I can't fiddle on my phone. Like, it's just a thing. It gets to 7 o'clock and I'm like, oh my God, I can't even look at my phone, my eyes. So it's just, sleep's done the big one for me. And the third one,
would you say it's journaling?
Yeah, I was tossing between that and food.
I was like, this is the
definitely.
I've
even got it here with me because it literally just follows me everywhere I go. And I bought a brand, so oh my God, I was never a journaler, and it's become something that I do every day. And if I don't do it, I actually don't feel like my day's complete. Like, my mind can't settle. I can't go to sleep. Like, I could have had the worst day, like work day, whatever. And if I just haven't gotten my thoughts out on that piece of page and wrote my intentions for the following day and wrote my gratitude and all my other things that I write about, it's become a part of my day now. And I just feel like it's like brushing my teeth. I just have to do it. And
it's so habitual.
Yes. Starting from day one with Brie, I'm nearly up to my 5th journal book, and I'm like, I get excited buying my journals and my pens. Like, I feel like I'm a little girl in grade 3 with her gel pens and all her books and everything. Like, that is literally my life, even though it's just something that I do, and I live for it. And it brings me a lot of ease too. Like, lately I've been becoming a lot more aware of I don't say I would have social anxiety, but I do overthink a lot when I go out with friends and family, and actually writing down intentions of how I want to feel and be, and prior to the event, and then I write it all down of what I want, how I want to feel, what I want to achieve, what I want to do. And then when I come back and write it down, I write everything that happened. And because I feel like writing an intention, it actually helps more than just thinking about it. For me, I can't just look at it and go, yeah, if I write something, it means so much more. So if I'm actually writing down all these feelings, then I actually feel like my body's unintentionally doing it. So lately, I've been having a really humble, wholesome time with connections that I've been doing in the last few months, purely because I've been writing down how I want to feel about the moment, rather than just going and being overthinking and like I have been the last couple of years. Like, it's just, I'm feeling a lot more, I'm becoming more wholesome with myself. Wow.
100%, babe. And like, the thing with this and what I saw with your journey with like journaling and writing it all down and what I got you to do, like, this is all like mental rehearsal. So you're writing it down, your experience of what it wants to happen, and it's like you're already living it. So then you're going to see that in your reality. And this is just a complete reflection of that. So I think definitely your manifestation skills have come a long way.
Learning about it all too. Like, at the start, I was forcing it. I was trying to force it so much because I was so intrigued by it. And so I was like, yes, I'm going to embody this. I'm going to do this. And I'd like say it to myself, and none of it would be in my life. None of it would be in reality because I was forcing it too much. So I started reading. I listened to the podcast that you forward to me, which is oh my gosh, I love the podcast. Podcast is I don't even know the last time I listened to the radio in my car, because it's just podcasts on Spotify.
Yeah, do they even make radios in the cars?
What's the radio station? I don't know. But yeah, so there's so many things. So just listening to lots of different other perspectives on how to go about it. It's all little bits of combined into a way that works for me, because everyone's not the same. Not everyone's going to figure out how they can become in their mind and not out of their head and into their heart. That's what I'm working on. Not everyone's going to be on the same path with that. And for me, I've taken probably 99.9% of my tips from yourself, but I have gotten a lot of guidance and ideas and tweaks from podcasts,
TikTok,
good old reels on Insta. Some of those I'm like, yes, and some I'm like, no.
Boundaries next.
Yeah.
I love that, babe. And I think you could definitely say, would you say that you have become a better woman for coming on this journey, the IA journey?
Yes, I feel like, I don't know, I don't feel like I ever lost myself, but I was becoming more of an adult and more womanly and stepping into the world of who I am becoming, and I had no idea what I was doing. So it's guided me. Like, I do feel a lot more happier with myself and happier with what the choices I'm making in my life. And it's not so just a guessing game anymore. Like, I have a lot more determination behind me rather than just, oh, I'll just do it because that's kind of what's expected of me and type of things. Like, there's still so many things I'm working on, but being a part of this journey's made me so much stronger. And I just feel a lot more aware of everything that's going on in my life too. Like, not everyone's going to tell you what's going on with them, but just being able to talk to even just my family members more openly about how I am feeling, because I used to just not really worry about it because it was just like, oh, they've known me forever. It's fine. Like, they're not asking what's up, so it obviously doesn't matter. I'm overthinking it. It's fine. Like, stop it. And then, like, you're just in your own head the whole time. Whereas actually becoming aware of, no, everyone actually has thoughts and everybody has feelings and they are valid. That's the biggest thing I've had to really acknowledge, that my thoughts actually matter and my feelings. I used to just downgrade them a lot to make the people around me feel better in the situation that we're in or what's happening, and then that would make me feel better. And I'm like, oh, but I have feelings too. But I used to just suppress them, but I'm letting them emerge a lot more now to make me feel more better.
Oh my gosh, that was the best. Yeah, hearing that, babe. So true though. Like, the more we suppress it, the more heavier we feel, the less that we can show up as our best authentic self to those that we love. And yeah, this has been something that we have worked on. Hey, it's like filling up your own cup and knowing that that's not selfish. That is actually you being a service rather than a disservice to your loved ones, to yourself, because you're filling your cup up and that's radiating. Which I love. So I do want to ask you, my love, what do you think was the most, or has been the most challenging part of your IA journey? And I mean, I have been with you the whole way, but when I say like challenging, it's like the adversity that we face, because people always think, oh, challenges, I don't want to face them, they're too scary, or there's just too much there for me to lean into. But we need to in order to level up and grow and expand into that version of ourselves. And you are like the embodiment of this. Like, I've seen you just shed layers like a snake. Like, it's crazy to see your growth.
Onions have layers.
Yeah, they do. You're a little cute onion.
How's they gonna shred?
We are here for it. Our inner childs are going wild.
Yes.
So what would you say was probably one of those standout moments or adversity that you did face and you're like, nah, I'm done, I'm quitting, I'm out, I'm over this?
It would probably have to be cutting the bullshit and just being honest with you so that you can actually help and guide me. Because at the start, it was, oh yeah, fun and games, and then I probably didn't realize I was doing it. But when I look back through my journals, I was like, oh my God, I was trying to people please you without even knowing. I was setting goals that I thought were going to make you go, yes, girl, get it. And then like me not achieving those goals because I can't do them. And actually listening and taking on all the advice that you said and doing the work when we're not on the Zoom calls, because yes, you say we have access to you all the time, but I'm someone who I don't want to bombard you every second of the day asking you questions. So I wouldn't contact you, and I would try and work a lot behind the scenes before then we'd have our next call, so that the next time when we caught up, yes, I've been able to reflect on what we've spoken about, but I still wasn't really taking it on board. I was just doing that to be like, okay, yeah, Mahlee's done that, cool, let's move on to the next thing. But then I could tell that there's something up with Bree because we keep returning to the same things. I reckon she knows that I'm unintentionally not actually knowing what I'm talking about or knowing what I'm doing. So it was really just stripping right back and being able to feel so comfortable to talk to you about things that I don't talk to people about. And it's not because I don't want to, it's just because I haven't even admitted it to myself. So when I have conversations with you, feelings arise, and then I go, holy fuck, like I didn't realize I feel that. When I'm on my own, I have still such a naive brain when it comes to wholesomeness and meditation and becoming your whole womanly self and being more feminine than masculine, more that like for actually learning about that and acknowledging that. And because I feel like that would have been my biggest thing, and I reckon that happened probably, it's only happened this year, probably back after the retreat. I think like in the last couple of months I've actually been like, all right, Mahlee, like if I actually want to grow, like I feel like I have grown so much, but I've done this much of bloody this much. Like there's so much more that I want to be, because I feel like I'm always thinking so much in the future and I'm not thinking in the present. And then the past, I let that dictate me too much. So I'm trying so hard to just be with myself now, rather than focusing and getting caught up on what I want to happen, what could happen, but not letting it go thoroughly through my brain because I'm letting everything that's happened back here dictate it. So
yes, babe.
Part.
So true. And like, it's the awareness piece. Hey, and like, that's what I was saying too. It's like really early days. It's having that awareness first, because if you don't have that awareness, then how are you supposed to level up and grow? But then as soon as you shifted into that, it was just like, away we go. Shit just got real, which I love.
Yeah. And I was definitely so much more on my masculine side. Like, so I was training really hard, doing these triathlons and these marathons, and just
tracking your calories like there's no tomorrow.
Tracking all my calories. And then I would just be so caught up on myself because I was like, oh my God, it's 100 calories over today. And it's like, now I'm just like, oh my God, I'm going to eat that cookie and I'm going to feel absolutely fabulous because I've eaten that cookie. And I absolutely love the mindset of how you've helped me grow, and it's still evolving now, but the way you think and look at yourself is how you actually feel. So I used to eat what I would think is a bad food and then feel, because I've eaten that. So then I'd look in the mirror and go, I've eaten that. And now I've just gone away for the weekend and seen you in Queensland. Best time. And I've come back and I'm like, all my clothes still fit. I feel great. I've got energy. I'm good. Let's go. Like, don't let it hold back from having a good time. When you know you're going to put in the work. Like, I wouldn't do all that if I didn't know that I am going to go to the gym this week and I am going to go for walks and I am going to do my non-negotiables throughout the day, but I'm not letting having a good time dictate me anymore, because I used to not want to go out because I'm like, oh my God, I know if I go out, I'm going to binge the next day and just eat all the foods under the sun. Whereas I've gone out more than I have in the last 2 months. I've gone out more than I have all year, and I've woken up the next day, but just mentally, like, I'm so strong there that I'm not binging. I make myself good eggs on brekkie, like, and then I have a good protein lunch, and then I don't snack because I'm like, I don't need a snack, and then I just have a good dinner. Like, I'm just having more nourishable foods that are like wholesome and gonna please me, rather than just hardly eating to then binging later.
And it's having that awareness around your nutrition, right, that you've grown and developed into. And I think this was like the biggest piece for you coaching with you, right? And like, this is keeping everything so transparent, was like the food relationship was our biggest catalyst for your growth. And like, yes, it's an ongoing process. Yes, all of us are always growing and expanding and trying to lean into what is there for us to grow and adapt. And for you, as a food relationship, same with me. Mine was the food relationship and alcohol as well.
Yeah.
And, you know, to see your growth from, say, let's say the retreat to now, what has shifted and changed is the relationship that you have with yourself. And that has been what has shifted, I think, for you, because when you love yourself, you are going to respect yourself, right? You're going to nourish yourself. You're going to want to feel good. So you're going to do the things that feel good, rather than if you're in this state of punishing yourself because you're always showing up and hating yourself in the mirror, looking like, oh, I'm not happy. It's like, well, if you're unhappy, then of course you're going to look for all the things to be unhappy about, right? And I think that was like the biggest light bulb moment for you when we spoke about that. And you're like, yeah, calling yourself out for that mediocre bullshit, which was amazing. And like, that's been freaking huge, babe. So yeah, I'm super proud of you, super proud of you and the journey that you have been on, and so excited to see what the next few months have got for you. And like I always say, we're our biggest project. You can never stop learning, never stop growing. But my love, is there anything that you would like to share with the rest of the listeners of Evolve?
Basically, yay, I'm so excited. This is finally happening. Like, you've been absolutely kicking goals with being a boss babe and doing all these having all these amazing opportunities for us girls. Like, anyone who jumps on, I tell you what, it's more than just a fitness 12-week program. It's a life. Like I mentioned at the start, I can't picture my life. It's literally, I've got my partner and my 3 special family members in my life, and then Brie. It's like I have these 5 people that I chat to daily, but if not every second day. And then it's just, I've learnt so much. Like, I've always been a cardio bunny, but I was never a skinny cardio bunny. I just loved running and walking. Oh, why did I say running? Take that back. I love walking. I walked my dogs. That's what I did for my fitness. I didn't play sport. I didn't do anything. And now I am out running a marathon, and I'm riding a bike, and I'm swimming, and I'm lifting weights. And I never went into the gym. I was so nervous when I first signed up with Brie, and Brie goes, okay, first thing, you need to join the gym. And I was like, And then I was like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. And I was so
too early to tap out.
I was so nervous driving to the gym, and it was so nerve-wracking. And now I literally walk in and I smile and wave at everyone, but I still don't go there to socialize. I go there to get my shit done, and I go because it makes me feel bloody good about myself, because then I've done something for myself. And it's just learning about how your body can be composed into this whole different figure. Like I mentioned, my weight's gone like this on the scales, but it's still always been here. And but I look completely different. I'm wearing clothes that I never thought I'd ever wear, purely because I probably have lost weight, but I have gained muscle. So everything fits differently, and I'm feeling so much stronger. And that's purely from the strength training that Breeze taught me at the gym. And it's amazing being able to learn it with someone who's not actually physically there. I'm like, I see the girls and all the boys in the gym getting trained like PTs and everything, and I think it's awesome. And I'm like, that's basically what I do every time I go to the gym, but I just have Bree on my phone, like not there with me, but then she gets back to me once she gets into the check-ins, and she tells me goals she wants me to do. And then I have so many questions, because I'm like, like, how do you lift a dumbbell? I had so many questions at the start. I had no idea. And now I'm doing things that I never thought I'd be able to do. And it's just, I wouldn't be able to do it without Bree. And I just can't see this ending anytime soon. Let's just
Oh, beautiful. I love you so much, sister. Like, honestly, you are the freaking best. You inspire me, and you, like, I'm not going to lie, you have, helped me as a coach and helped my business grow and adapt. So, it goes both ways. It's not just the one. I promise you that. Thank you, beautiful, for jumping on. You are the best.
That's okay. Thank you so much for having me.